He couldn't quite put his finger on exactly why they felt so subpar, but one was even described as slimy. It just adds to the general impression of low quality control. He also found the fit and finish lacking in other areas, like bolts that don't visually fit properly or are obviously mismatched in style or material. He commented that if it was a Yamaha or something, it would look a lot tighter, implying a much higher standard of precision and aesthetic integration from established brands. You expect better component matching. So these aesthetics and assembly issues were kind of a recurring theme throughout his experience. Little things add up. He even jokingly remarked that the keyhole for the passenger seat, which is a standard feature on most sport bikes, made him truly feel like he was unboxing a legitimate crotch rocket. A term he notes, pretty sure started out as an insult, but then we claimed it as our own, sort of leaning into the subculture of sport bike riders. But clearly, that detailed attention to missing refinement and proper fit and finish was absent on this budget bike.
Okay, so once this Walmart crotch rocket was miraculously assembled, despite the challenges, how did it actually perform out on the road? Was it a thrilling ride given its sporty looks, or was the performance as budget as the price?
The performance metrics, especially for a bike that visually mimicked a sport bike, were quite frankly surprising and almost comically underwhelming, not thrilling at all. The bike, advertised as a 250cc model, shockingly only produced about 5 to 7 horsepower. Now, that is an incredibly low figure, especially when you directly compare it to, say, an old Ninja 250s that were somewhere in the 30 horsepower range. It's a stark contrast that the host vividly called an amazing, incredible feat of taking a 250cc motor and it only makes 5 to 7 horsepower. Almost impressive in its lack of power. Its 0 to 60 mile per hour acceleration time was a whopping 14 seconds, which he humorously and accurately compared to the leisurely pace of a first-generation non-turbo smart car. Not exactly neck-snapping, it barely has a top speed of 70 mph, making it highway-capable only in the most generous sense and probably struggling to keep up. And it exhibits a completely flat power curve, meaning in his words, it just never came in with any amount of power anywhere. There was no surge, no excitement, and certainly no thrilling acceleration typically associated with anything called a crotch rocket. It was pretty tame.
Okay, yeah, that certainly doesn't sound very thrilling for something dubbed a crotch rocket. Not at all. But despite this really underwhelming performance for a sport bike look-alike, did the host still find a place for it in the market? Is there actually a niche for this kind of vehicle?